Just do my thing, do my thing. Oh, you keep painting. I'm just do my thing. Oh, you keep painting.
So I give you solutions, not just here's the problem, but I give you solutions.
I'm just do my thing. 6 in the morning, yeah, I'm on my dough.
And that's why I wrote the book. It took me, it's about 37 to 40 years of research.
I'm sipping on some herbs. Now I'm flourishing, life's an excursion. If you get it.
Welcome everyone to Get Healthy the Wynters Way with healthy living through the Pure Cure, a complete guide to freeing your life from dangerous toxins. And I am Sharyn Wynters. And I am so grateful to be here today with you. And I hope everyone out there had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And you got to spend it with some friends and some family. And you got to eat some good food. And it is hard to eat good food today. As I was going shopping, I kept saying, no, I can't get any of this. I can't get any of that. Let's see, this is GMO. This is gluten. Can't cook with aluminum. So your choices keep getting narrower and narrower. And I'm glad I wrote my book, The Pure Cure, because it's all in there. So I've got to take my own advice that I wrote in my book. I'm really excited about today's guest. 2014 is coming up, and I don't know about you, but I'm always making New Year's resolutions, and I like to be successful at it because the worst thing that can happen is I don't follow through on my New Year's resolutions, and I feel bad about myself, and I don't like feeling bad about myself. And I got a long time ago that in order to really manifest what you want, you conceive it, you dream it, you believe it, and then you achieve it. And my guest today is all about that. His name is Kaya Redford. Where do you see him? He is beautiful. I'm so excited. And he is a master's trainer of NLP and timeline therapy. And he's the founder and CEO of Team Up for Life. And his programs are based on two modalities, Neuro, Linguistic programming, which I absolutely love, and timeline therapy, which I want to find out about. And they're two of the most cutting-edge techniques and modalities available in the world today for personal growth, transformation, and achieving great success in any area of your life. So I am going to welcome you, Kaya Redford, to my show. I'm so thrilled that you are here.
I'm so excited I'm here too.
And I really appreciate it because we were on a show together a couple weeks ago, the Tina Michelle show on Vision Quest. Was that Vision Quest? And when I heard him speak, I went, you got to get on my show. I need you on my show, especially now when 2014 is coming. I want to give people some technique that maybe they can use to be successful. Because there's nothing like being successful in putting a goal, because it keeps making it manifests. It's like a snowball. It keeps you, okay, I achieved that. Now let me get to the next one, and let me get to the next one. And I know that you canceled your flight.
Yeah, I changed my flight. I was going to Houston, and I had an opportunity, and really it's a real big honor and privilege for me to be here today with you. You're such an amazing woman.
Thank you.
Published author. Published author. You're changing lives. You're keeping people healthy, giving them a longevity of life, successful living with their health and their vitality. Through nutrition, through diet, through many other things as well. And I think that's the reason why we're so much on the same page, because I do the same thing for the mind.
Right.
And the mind and the body are so connected.
Right.
So I'm excited to be here. I am going to be going to Houston tonight, so I get to have a late flight to Houston.
Well, thank you.
Cool.
I know you haven't had a chance to look at my book, but I have about 20 chapters in my book on what to do about food, water, vaccines, toxins in your teeth, what to do when you travel, which you need to get my book to understand what to do, how to protect yourself.
Yes.
And my favorite topic is toxic thoughts and emotions.
Yes.
And so that's what we're going to kind of get into today.
Yes.
And I'm really excited because in a couple of weeks I have the Reverend Michael Beckwith coming.
Oh, exciting. I love Michael. Yeah.
And after that, Marianne Williamson is coming.
Awesome,
and she just said
yeah.
that she was coming in. I'm going, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm having all these great people, but I have manifested this.
Yes.
Because it's interesting. When I wrote my book,
Yes.
I envisioned my own show. And there were many opportunities that came along that didn't seem right. And this opportunity of this show just fell in, just it's like getting out of the way of yourself. How do you get out of the way of yourself and let
right?
Spirit move through you
Yes.
so that you can achieve what you can achieve?
Yes.
So before we get into all this
juicy stuff.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Who is Kaya Redford? It's like the
Who am I?
Right. Remember the Alice in Wonderland when
Yes.
she was going through all the different journeys, and was it the caterpillar?
Yeah.
And he was smoking this long thing, and he made these huge smoke rings, and he said, "Who are you?" Alice in
Yes.
Wonderland was a pretty heavy.
Yes. A lot of stuff going on in there.
Internal stuff going on there. So back
Yes.
to who, as the caterpillar
Yes.
said in Alice in Wonderland, who
Yes.
are you?
Yes. If you'd asked me this a few years ago, I might have said I'm Kaya Redford. I'm a success coach. I'm a transformation expert. I help heal and change the world and change the planet and change the way the world thinks. These are the things I might have said.
Right.
These days, I like to expand our thinking even beyond that. So in my seminars, I ask people, who are you? And they tell me in a sentence who they are. And then I pause, and then a moment later, I say to them, but aren't you more than that? And so all of a sudden, their mind needs to expand to, okay, so I'm even more than this. So who am I? So I ask them a second time, who are you? And they tell me the second version of who they are, which is already expanded. And I go, wow, that's amazing. And I say, and aren't you even more than that? And so what we're doing is we're really expanding, to a place where, in a way, we're not really definable because we're more than any definition that could even be given to us.
But also you've given them space to be able to expand. And
Yes.
it's interesting because sometimes we don't do that in our own lives, to give ourselves space to be able to expand.
Yep.
For me, we all have a story and stories, good, bad, or whatever it is, but those stories
Yep.
run our life.
Yep.
And we need to be true to our stories. And it's like, what I always ask myself, is that when I'm saying, okay, is that a story that I'm running?
Yeah.
Is it working for me?
Yeah.
Is it working for me?
Yeah.
How's that working for you, Sharyn?
Yeah.
Is that working for you?
I had this lady come up to me. Unfortunately, ran away from home at 14, was sleeping on people's couches. She left home because she had an abusive alcoholic father, mother, totally dysfunctional family. She was using drugs by age 15, having sex 14, 15 years old. It was a complete mess. And she was, by the time I met her, she was in her late 20s. She couldn't hold a job. She had a terrible life. She'd been battered. She'd been through every nightmare that a woman could possibly imagine. And she comes to me. She realizes I'm a coach, life coach, success coach, and she says, "Can you help me?" And I said, "Absolutely. I have a question for you." I asked her. I said, "What do you tribute yourself? Like, how did you become this way? How is this your life?" And she looked at me and she said, "If you had a father like mine, you wouldn't be asking me that question." I kind of backed up just a little bit. Okay, so because she was a lot of energy on that statement. I'm like, okay, there's obviously issue with growing up for her, with family, whatever. And then we ended up doing some coaching, and surprising to me, about 2-3 weeks later, I ended up meeting another woman who was her sister. And I was not aware. I meet her sister, and her sister's making over $300,000 a year, owns her own company, married, 2 kids, fantastic life, everything. I mean, beautiful. And I spoke to her, and I said, I didn't want to connect the two, but I'm like, how do you attribute your great success? And she said, if you had a father like mine,
Right.
you wouldn't ask me that question.
That's right.
And I know we've studied many people. NLP is a study of human excellence. We study successful people in history, whether it's, in sports figures, politics, and music and acting or whatever. And we model successful behavior. And one of the people that also that has studied NLP quite a bit is Oprah Winfrey. Has studied NLP and both
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins, both the Clintons, Hillary and Bill Clinton, and Ronald Reagan was actually the very first president heavily trained in neuro-linguistic programming.
So for those of you out there who don't know what NLP, let's get into a little bit about what is NLP.
How I like to describe NLP is I like to make it just a simple sentence. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is the study of human excellence. It's the study of human excellence. How do I become the best I can be? A lot of people, I would say, unfortunately, on a planet today, I'd say that most people would agree, most of the planet's unhappy, struggling in some way, shape, or form. Maybe there's 3% or 5% of the population worldwide that actually doesn't stress over money, doesn't stress over relationships, doesn't stress over, where their kids are going to be on drugs or this or that. There's very few people that actually have, what many would consider just an overall, all the way around happy life. And we're not talking about people that settle. There are people that delude themselves that, I'm happy, but they're settling,
right.
Or they're minimizing their situation to make their life sound like it's good when deep down inside they're living lives of silent desperation. So what we want to do is we want to say, look, we were brought here to succeed. We are successful beings. We have so much love and abundance and so much to give in our hearts. How do we become more of that and less of the other stuff, less of the fears and the problems and stuff? So
because all the stories that we tell ourselves are totally fear-based.
Yeah.
It's to stop us from being the best that we can be.
And you may have goals in 2014 that you want. Like, I want to triple my income, or I want to meet that man, or I want to meet that woman. I don't want to spend another holiday season alone, or I'm in a relationship and I want it to be a 10 out of 10. It's a 6. I feel like we could grow so much more together and be even so much more in love together. So whether a person's single or in a relationship, how do we elevate our whole life and our kids' lives? So NLP is a study of human excellence. It helps us do that. If I were to go deeper into what those 3 words mean, neuro-linguistic programming, neuro is our neurology, how we think. Linguistic is our communication, language, linguistic, how we communicate. And programming is our behavior, our emotions, everything sort of beneath the iceberg, beneath the surface of the water, the depth of who we are. So what we found out is that when how we think, how we communicate, and how we behave, when all of that is all on the same page, we have power, we have influence. Life shows up easy. People come to us to help us because they see the leader in us. They see the leader in us and they want to come and support us in our goals, in our dreams and our desires. What NLP also illuminates is when it's not on the same page. For instance, when how we think is, I can't do this, or I can't decide between these two things. There's a lack of focus, a lack of clarity, a lack of confidence, a lack of I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not capable enough, I'll never be rich. Who am I kidding? I'll never be rich. It hasn't happened for 20 years. Why all of a sudden in 2014 is it going to all of a sudden happen now? When these thoughts, these negative thoughts are plaguing the mind, or when the words we use are not matching our behavior, like, have you ever had someone say to you, do this is what you should do, or don't do this, and you turn around the corner, they're doing the exact opposite. Their behavior doesn't match their words. So when these 3 things are not on the same page, we lack influence, we lack power, and life shows up as a struggle, and we want to change that. NLP is about building wholeness and completeness and bringing us back in alignment so that we can actualize and achieve all of our goals.
That's awesome, because also whether you think you can or you can't, You're
either way.
right.
Yeah.
I want to hear more. I want to hear more,
Yeah.
but we're going to take a short break, and we'll get right back to Get Healthy the Wynters Way with the Pure Cure, complete guide to freeing your life from dangerous toxins, and those can be thoughts.
Or you can feel my pain, 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 or you can feel my pain.
So kick rocks, mommy, kick rocks, get gone, 'cause I don't wanna see you no more, no more, no more, don't even step a foot on my block. So kick rocks, get gone, 'cause I don't wanna see you no more, no more, no more, don't even step a foot on my block. They say you should go through life with no regrets, but if I could rewind time, I'd wish we never met. Not cop a new score fat, collect a bigger check, and do my debts or even invest in Macintosh shares. I wanna put to rest this lack of tenderness or anything other than sex to keep my interests impressed. Let's drop the misses, 'cause no man can marry you, bitch. Your moves are ridiculous. You used to drive me shitless. Talk out your ass till you're shitless. Could always push my buttons, no misses. So go ahead, girl, and take a step.
We're back to Get Healthy the Wynters Way. I'm Sharyn Wynters, and this show is based on my book, The Pure Cure, Complete Guide to Freeing Your Life from Dangerous Toxins. And each week I bring in an expert in the different chapters of my book to discuss what it is that we are concerned about and solutions. And this week in my my show,
Yes.
I have the fabulous Kaya Redford, and we were having this great discussion before intermission. And then in intermission, we were dancing. The music, by the way, is my son, Dylan Young, and you can go to his website, sonofwaves.com, SONOFWAVES.com, and check out his music. He is amazing. So he sings. Talk about
Was his music?
Yeah.
Your son?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
I get an album.
Right. Not only does he sing, but he writes all the lyrics. All the instruments are his. He's like a one-man band.
Wow. And that was him rapping?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I just love it.
His thing is, let me see if I can clean up his saying. When hip hop and R&B, my music is their offspring.
When hip hop and R&B come together, he is the offspring.
That's it. Come together.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. His
Music. There's a lot of things embedded in that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But this is a great example of a story. I mean, as a young kid, he was performing, was an actor, and he was singing and recording at 5 and 6 years old.
Wow.
That was his thing.
I wish I would have known at 5 or 6 what I wanted to be growing up. Unfortunately for me, I was lost up until 33.
Yeah.
That's kind of part of my story is and how I got on this journey is I was a lost soul. I'm just kind of being honest saying it that way. Didn't have a purpose in life, didn't have a direction. I couldn't keep a job. I didn't know what I wanted. I was angry, bitter, frustrated, all of the stuff, broke.
there's that.
Heartbroken and financially broken. Just everything.
That was your story.
That was, yeah. I mean, it was not only a story, it was my experience.
Right.
And then,
Isn't your experience a direct result of your story?
And then I went to a seminar, and I met Bob Proctor from The Secret. I worked with Bob Proctor actually later, and Michael Beckwith and Jack Canfield in their Science of Getting Rich program, became their #1 trainer for that program. And then I'm doing my own seminars now. Long story short, he says to me, whatever you want, you can do it. You can create, you create your experience of reality. And I thought, can I use the real words here?
Yeah.
I thought, bullshit. I can't create anything. What are you talking about? I'm waiting for I'm going to win the lottery or something, because I have no other way to me. I have no idea what I'm doing or how the heck I'm going to do anything. So, and then, he kept repeating that, and it was something that happened. It's almost like I had this thing around me, which was this big block or cloud. And it's almost like someone got a knife of truth, the way I would describe it, and it just pierced through this thing.
Right.
And right in here, and I felt something. I actually had a physiological breakthrough, which is, we could call it an aha realization.
Right.
And
we've all had those moments.
My hair was standing up on my arms, my head, and I just woke up and I realized, oh my gosh, I'm creating this shit. I'm waiting for something else outside of me.
Outside of yourself.
To pick me, to wake me up. And it's all me all along. I just got to wake myself up. I had to decide, now is my life. Now is the time for me to wake up and pursue what I came here to do. And I spent 33 years of my life not doing that. And then when I woke up, I feel like I woke up so fast out of that the last few years has been explosive.
Right.
Explosive.
Well, it's the same thing, I look at everything that happens in my life now as a gift, no matter what's going on, whatever it is. I just don't even question it. What's the gift? I keep looking for okay, what's the gift in this thing that's happening right now? What's the gift, whether it's relationships or personal things or whatever's going on? I look for the gift, because I trust that whatever is happening is happening for a really good good reason. I'm blessed. I had cancer when I was 25.
Yeah.
And it led me on this incredible journey.
Yeah.
So if I didn't have it, I don't think I would be here today. It led me to a woman who told me about a dentist in Grapevine, Texas, Dr. William Donald Kelly, and I went to see him, and boy, my life changed. Did it change? And I thought I was pretty aware. I was an actress at the time. I was very involved in what I thought was the self and exploring my inner world, but it didn't have anything to do with what was really happening on the outer world. And boy, I got some heavy duty lessons, and I'm blessed that I have them, because I'm doing what I'm doing now. I'm living my life.
You're amazing. Yeah. You're amazing. You mentioned gifts, which is kind of talks about the second technique that I'm a master and a trainer's trainer in, which is...
I love it. Say that again. I'm a master.
I am a master. We are all masters. You got to wake up and just realize it. You got to step up to the plate. 2014 is right around the corner. You know what? The most important person to look highly of is you yourself. You got to look highly of yourself. You got to own it. You got to own it, because no one else is going to own anything for you. You got to own you. And say that I'm a beautiful, powerful, amazing, handsome, gorgeous, pretty, whatever,
Well, let's everybody out there, I want you to say that.
I am an amazing.
I am an amazing.
Powerful. Abundant. Capable. Universal. Loving. Successful. Appreciative.
Service-oriented.
Being of at a monumental level.
At a monumental level. Now you can play that back, you can write it down, and you can carry it with you and say that every single morning as soon as you get up and before you go to sleep, which is one of my techniques that I've been doing for years. As soon as I open my eyes, I go, 10 things I'm grateful for.
Yes.
And I just go through a list, and a lot of it is repetitive.
Yeah.
Because I'm grateful for my life, I'm grateful for my children, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for all those things, my health, and then I always add in a new thing. And then who can I be of service to?
Yeah, and you know what that does is
who can I be of service
let's
to?
go into the science of that real quick. Why are we doing that? Because we have Deepak Chopra, who was speaking when Bob Proctor and I were all having that conversation, and Deepak says the average person has about 60,000 thoughts per day, which is roughly about one thought per waking second. And unfortunately, most people, those thoughts are the negative thoughts, right? And then he also said 95% of the thoughts that we have today are actually thoughts we had yesterday. So not only it's negative thoughts, but it's the same negative thoughts that keep repeating, keep looping from day to day. So this really, we talk about thoughts become things. Right. What you think about, you create. So if a person keeps thinking, I don't want to be broke, I don't want to be alone, I don't want to be hurt, I don't want to be this, I don't want to be that, all the mind keeps hearing is broke, alone, that, whatever. Right. It does. Unconscious mind is not a mind that can really process negatives. Right.
Well, it doesn't know truth from a lie. It just takes in what you're giving it. Yes.
It's a strange analogy, but I go like this. We're in this beautiful, amazing radio.
Thin. So you're setting yourself up to be heavy.
Well, there's many layers to it. Right. There's many layers to it. We're in a beautiful radio station here. And if we had our kids, I have a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old, but let's say we had our kids that were 6, 7, 8, 9 years old in the room. And we said, okay, kids, all you kids, we're going to step out for a moment. Don't take these crayons, these felt tips over here. Don't take these and write all over the walls. Don't do that. Right. If we left the room 15 minutes later, what would we find?
We'd find the crayons all over the
wall. Because when you say to a kid, don't do this, you're basically giving them a direct command to do it.
And don't think of a pink elephant, right?
Yeah, because the unconscious mind really cannot process negatives. When you say, I don't want to be hurt, I don't want to be alone, I don't want to be broke, I don't want this, all the unconscious mind, your feeling mind hears is alone, hurt, broke, this. So we need to do is stop talking about the problems.
Right.
Get to the solutions, which is everything you're about. So timeline therapy is something that also helps with that. It goes to the root cause of a problem. So let's say I have a fear of success or fear of failure or a fear of being alone or fear of the unknown. I don't know what's 2014 is going to be like. A lot of people have fear.
And then where does that come from? But where is that fear there?
Yes, so where does it come from? So timeline therapy, along with NLP, what it does is we go to the root cause of it. Usually it's the imprint stage. Most of the way we got between 0 to 7 years old. There's a reason why they say by the time a kid gets to 7 years old, you pretty much know what most of its personality is going to be once it gets later in life, because that's the imprint stage. They're sponges. They're picking it all up. So we ask, what is the root cause of that problem, the fear that you have in your life? Usually something in the early manner years. Then when we find out what that is, we go through a simple, fast, easy, simple, painless, permanent, amazing process. In less than 5 to 10 minutes, we go to the root cause. We gather the gifts, which is what you've been talking about, Sharyn, is I ask, what's the gifts? What's the gifts? What's the gifts? We gather the gifts, the learnings. We release all the anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, shame, resentment, jealousy, irritation, rage. We get rid of the I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not this, I'm not that.
All the things that don't serve us. Because
all of that
none of that stuff
is just, And instead we replace it with the truth.
Right.
If I can share an amazing story that I heard, who would you consider the most famous sculptors of all time?
Sculptor?
Yeah.
Well, and I know that Michelangelo, David.
Yeah, Michelangelo.
And he's and I know the story because I thought about that.
That's
this morning.
Exactly what it is.
It's like, how did you create David?
How did you create David?
David was there all along. I just chipped away the pieces that no longer meant anything for the sculptor.
Yeah. He just said,
That's funny.
he said, God inspires this perfect image.
Right.
I go to a quarry and I see these big blocks of marble, and in the moment, God inspires this perfect image, this statue. He says, and I just haul this big piece of marble back to my workplace. He says, my job is nothing more, nothing less than
Just
to chip away.
Chip
Just
away.
chip away everything that's not the perfect statue.
And it's incredible.
Leaving just the perfect you is in you.
Right.
The perfect you is in all of us. I know there's a spiritual teaching out there that wants to say that we're not perfect, and I get that. I'm not. This doesn't in any way contradict that. What we're saying is the you that's unstoppable, the you that's powerful, the you that can have and be everything that you want to be. And no matter what religious background you come from, this is just a universal thing. The you that is everything powerful, that can do and be everything you want to be in your life, achieve all your goals, have the love, have the finances that you want. That you, that perfect you in that sense, is in you. It's in you right now. We just need to get rid of the stuff that's not you. The excess marble. We just chip that away, which is what we do.
I've always thought that one of the purposes of life is to find your talents, and what gives it meaning is to pursue it.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed at how many people don't know their talents.
Yeah, well, I didn't.
And the talents are, we all have talents. We're all born with it.
Yeah.
It's to find it. It's to discover it, and that's another gift is to go on that journey.
Yeah.
I was thinking about my I've got 2 boys.
Yeah.
And
we both have 2 boys. Hey, there you go. We need one more. We'll get a basketball team. There you go. We'll take on the Miami Heat. We'll show them what's up.
And it's interesting. I'm so non-sports.
I'm so sports. I used to live in England. I was captain of my rugby team.
Oh, really? Is
I
that where
played
you're from?
basket. I was born in Nebraska, so I'm American. But all my childhood is in Europe up until 20. Then I came back, which similar to, I think what you said. You did, or
Well, I'm from Philadelphia.
Oh yeah,
That's about as far.
But you
as
came
you
to
can,
LA when you were 20.
No, 19. Yeah.
19, 20.
It's
So
about as far as you can get. It's about as far and away from New York City as you can. Although,
there you go.
Although it was a great music town, and it's a great
Yeah.
dancing town, Philadelphia. Yeah.
So we were both.
I'm a Philly girl. For those Philly people out there, anybody knows what that means. We're going to take a short break. The Philly style with some more of Dylan's music, and we're dancing here. So we'll be right back with the Pure Cure.
Can I dedicate this to my chick? Hell yeah. Baby girl, you ain't got a trick, you ain't got a strip. We could slip to the crib if you wanna. Cruise to the high hills of California. Chill out, sit back, sip this yak, smoke some marijuana. Getting tipsy in the sauna, doing any and everything that you wanna. When touch foes show, use a goner. Hold on for just a little bit longer so we could chop it up. Just how they do at Benihana's. Cruising in the 6 till about 6 in the morning. Never seen you yawning, we've been up for 3 days. Popping Coronas, making love under the shade. Am I fooling myself? Is this make-believe? My mind keep playing tricks on me. Round my head, birds are circling. You knock me out, tell me I'm not dreaming. 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 Yeah. Mommy ain't with that drama. She finer than some angel hair pasta ass. She got a lot of wanted to get to know her proper, so I took her to the hair doctor.
We're back with Get Healthy, the Wynters Way, and the Pure Cure. I just heard my son say something about Mama came in with that drama. Did you really say that, son? Did I have any drama?
He said, Mama got rid of that drama.
Yeah, really, Mama got rid of that drama. Oh, boy. Yeah, there's a little drama. I mean, every house has a little drama.
You know what? If we didn't have drama, we wouldn't be growing.
I was an actress, and my son was an actor. So 2 actors head to head.
Yeah, drama's good for actors as far as learning how to evoke all those different colors and emotions for the craft of acting. Yeah, I train actors now.
I'm sure
we have actors. We train a lot of business people. We train New York Life now, which is the oldest insurance company. They insured 3 U.S. presidents. We train Bank of America, Century 21, Keller Williams. So a lot of real estate insurance. Then also we're doing PTSD, which is healing soldiers coming back from Afghanistan that have been diagnosed and suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, which if you know anything about it, just messes up the brain. They're going crazy. In fact, right now, unfortunately, there's 22 U.S. veterans committing suicide every single day, which is the biggest in history. And there's more soldiers committing suicide right now for U.S. veterans than are dying in combat. So that timeline therapy piece we were talking about, it's saving lives. I had one person, who, it was in really bad shape on multiple points. I won't go into it because it's kind of extremely graphic. And just knowing that that person's safe and other people around them are safe as a result of the work that we've done, we really are saving lives. So we do that for veterans. We are hopefully going to get a grant from Chase Bank.
Oh, that's awesome.
In January.
That's awesome.
To make it available to all the veterans, because a lot of people don't have money for this coaching. I mean, I've spent an enormous amount of money, but I realize other people, not all people do. So grants for some veterans to help save their lives. And then, the actors too. And I find actors are the most interesting in the seminar. They're just, they're amazing people. They do the processes, and it's so demonstrative. It's like you got to watch just a camera. The transformation they go through, it's like they're so, kinesthetic. Yeah. So I love.
So let me ask you something. What is the Kaya Redford Success Training about?
So that's what we do. We have a program called Quantum Leap Now.
Is it just you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the master and the trainer's trainer.
I love when you say that. I'm the master.
I am the master.
I'm sitting next to a master.
I am the master. I've gone through all the levels, and in NLP and timeline therapy, and it's a beautiful thing. It's an amazing thing. We have programs. So we have a program called Quantum Leap Now, where you come in with your life as it is now, and you quantum leap it. Whether it's relationships you want to work on, whether it's money, whether it's career, whether it's family, whether it's health and fitness, you come in with wherever you're at now, and in a matter of 9 days, you transform. I like to look at it as the caterpillar.
So it's a 9-day seminar?
It's a 9-day program, yeah. You come in, I like to look at it as the lemons to lemonade, or the caterpillar that is like, okay, moving along slowly and really wants to fly, really wants to be this beautiful thing that it really is, and then we help transform the caterpillar into the butterfly through the 9-day process. You go into a cocoon, you don't, you put your phone away, you become selfish for once in your life and make it about you instead of everybody else's wants and needs. You make it about your own wants and needs. Right. You check out of the outside world for 9 days and you just check into you, and we work on your belief systems, your emotions. We get rid of all the negative emotions that you don't need. Help you find the happiness and empowerment, and then we work on your values, strategies, your emotions, your thought patterns, your physiology, your communication.
Right. We have so much baggage. I remember reading an article when I was about 16 years old in Playboy.
Oh.
On Federico. I used to love the articles. I mean, that's what
She would read the articles at Playboy, yes.
Well, I would. I mean, I'm not, but
I never read any articles, just kidding.
Right, but it happened to be an article by Federico Fellini.
Okay.
And I was a Fellini fanatic. I that's what kind of got me into the business, was that when I saw La Dolce Vita and 8 1/2, and I went, oh my God, look at these films. They're saying something. There's some meaning. But I remember a quote that he said was, I will spend the rest of my life getting rid of the baggage that was laid upon me as a child. And it struck me. And it's so true. I mean, all these wounds that we have that when we're so young that have been put on us, and we spend the rest of our lives with all this stuff that becomes stories. I have to share this story because it's so, it's incredible. Somewhere along the line, when I was about 5 or 6 years old, I must have been singing. Mm-hmm. And my mother made fun of me. She called me squeaky voice. And I never sang again. Yeah. Loved music. I mean, I loved music, but I couldn't carry a tune. I graduated high school. They asked me to mouth the words to my high school song, but I hung out at jazz clubs, and I loved music. Mm-hmm. But I always, it didn't even dawn on me that I could sing. But she also, another message she gave me was, oh, you're so dramatic. You're like Sarah Bernhardt, who was an actress, right? No. So the subliminal tape is, okay.
I'm an actress.
I'm an actress. Wow. I'm an actress. And so I lived out that story. I became an actress. And then about 12 years ago, in the middle of the night, this, God thing came to me. I don't know what it was, but it was like, what did you want to do that you haven't realized in your life? And those chills that you get, like I'm getting right this moment? It's like every time I think about it, and the first thing out of my mouth was to sing. Mm-hmm. I wanted to sing.
I'd love to be a singer too. I just can't hold a tune.
Well, let's see. That's your story.
That's my story. So I have a story I can't sing.
And he's sticking to it.
I was at a karaoke last night, and they're like, "Get up and sing." I'm like, But
wait, listen to this. So I get up the next morning, and I called a friend of mine that I had known for 30 years. He was Billie Holiday's piano player at 17, Deanie Clark. And I hadn't talked to him in years. And I said, hey, Deanie, it's Sharyn. Do you think you could teach me how to sing? And he said, I can teach a dog how to sing. And so I started taking lessons from him. A year and a half later, I manifested a jazz CD. How's that? And I remember telling my kids, because they're both musicians and their father was a phenomenal, I mean, he could do everything, right? I'm going to take singing lessons. And they go, have a good time, Mom.
Wow.
And now I've sung all over town.
Well, there
I'm
you
a
go.
jazz singer. I sing with some of these great musicians. I perform, and I'm doing all the songs that I've loved my whole life, and I can do them pretty damn well.
Yeah, she has a great voice.
And I've changed my story.
Yes.
My story is no longer I can't sing.
Yes.
And it's incredible.
Exactly.
And it's incredible. God, exactly. if I could have had that tool years ago, I would have been light years. Okay, if only.
Yeah. And now you do. Yeah. So that's a great,
isn't it?
Great example of what we've been talking about.
God, if I would have died
the stuff
and not
that's
have that
been taught to us. I feel like, here's the thing. I feel like we come into this world whole and complete. I would like to say perfect. Yeah. You know what my new definition of perfect is. I know that we are a work in progress, so I'm not saying that. I mean just perfect, this whole perfect being. And then life happens to us. People's fears and stuff gets imposed on us. And so now we wake up and we go, wait a minute, is everything that I believe about myself even true? Right. I mean, I'm holding myself back and this and that, whatever. And I see someone else just like me and he's doing it or she's doing it. Why can't I make the money he's making? Why can't I have the love that this couple has or whatever? So we start questioning, the truth about what we think. So what we want to do is we want to create a process where someone can come in simple, 9 days. We have actually a 3-day as well, a 3-day program, which is shorter.
Is this still called Quantum Leap?
Yeah, the 3-day is more for business. It's a little bit more for business. It's sales and leadership mastery for people that are entrepreneurs, for salespeople, for leaders. That's the 3-day. It's called Leap Now, Sales and Leadership Mastery. The 9-day is Quantum Leap Now, which is 9-day full life transformation. We want to do is, Sharyn, you're such an amazing everything. And what's so sad about life is that people wait. I lost 33 years I could have been doing all this stuff, for the 33 years. Sometimes we get the lessons, but we get the lessons when we're in I just turned 41. So, way later,
Right.
So I have 22-year-olds coming. I have 17-year-olds coming to my seminar. And I say, you know what? I'm not jealous of anything because I really am not. One thing I'm jealous of is the fact that I wish I was in your seat at your age. I wish I was sitting in your seat listening to someone like me sharing these tools with you at 17 because I lost between 17 and 33. Another good friend of mine is Les Brown, and he talks about that. Les Brown is also one of the most powerful, great speakers on the planet, and he talks about all the years that he lost, you know, and finding his way and doing what he's done.
You know, I don't know if I believe that. I don't think I lost anything. I really don't, because everything, for me, everything is perfect, and everything, if I didn't have
Correct.
the cancer, if I didn't have this, if I didn't have that,
Right.
you know, and everything is timing.
Yeah.
And so things happen when it happens. It's funny
Yeah.
because I have another son who's very, very successful, and he became very successful at a young age. And as I was driving here, I called him up and I said, I want you on my show. He says, what am I going to talk about? I said, Josh, I said, you are so successful. You know, he's a film editor. If anybody saw the Disney show yesterday on television, that was my son. He edited
Wow.
it. He has a film library. All
Nice.
the music from that show was from his library. He said check out the ukulele, and he played ukulele and wrote a song on it. You know, and I said, how do you get to those goals at such a young age?
Yes, we should talk about goals.
2014 is coming.
2014 is right around the corner.
Can we talk about
Yes.
goals and
Yes.
maybe help some people make some goals? We're going to take a short break, get out a piece of paper and a pencil, and we're going to have some goal setting.
Yeah,
So
how
that-
do you achieve everything you want to achieve in 2014? We're going to talk about that.
How
Stay
do you
tuned.
achieve everything you want to achieve in
You deserve it.
2014?
So how do we do it?
You are deserving of that. We'll be right back.
So kick rocks, mommy, kick rocks, get gone, 'cause I don't wanna see you no more, no more, no more, don't even step a foot on my block, so kick rocks, get gone, 'cause I don't wanna see you no more, no more, no more, don't even step a foot on my block. They say you should go through life with no regrets, but if I could rewind time, I'd wish we never met. Not cop a new school fare, collect a bigger check, until my debts are even, invest in Macintosh shares. I wanna put to rest, it's like a tenderness, or anything other than sex, to keep my interest impressed. Let's drop the misses, 'cause no man can marry you, bitch. Your moves are ridiculous, you used to drive me shiftless. Talk out your ass till you're shitless, could always push my buttons, no misses. So go ahead, girl, and take a stab at it, and kick rocks like a crack addict. So kick rocks.
We are back with Get Healthy the Wynters Way. I'm Sharyn Wynters, and I'm with my fabulous, fabulous guest that I am so enjoying this. Is Kaya Redford, and we're going to talk about 2014. Can you believe it's 2014?
Yes, it's so exciting. It really is.
It is.
Yes. I have a thing where on New Year's
And
Eve,
we're still here because 2013,
Yeah,
we
we're
weren't even
here.
supposed to be here. So
You have an
if you're
opportunity.
all here and you made it, guess what? You're ahead of the game.
you have an opportunity to crystallize in your
Crystallize.
mind. 2014. I have a thing where I like to go. We're in, very close to Hollywood, and this is Beverly Hills, I guess, close to Hollywood. And what I like to do is I like to go up to near the Hollywood sign. Maybe if you're international, you know that when you see the Oscars, they show the Hollywood sign, the big white sign. There is a place called Runyon Canyon, a very
Right.
large canyon.
Right.
And I jog up to the top of Runyon Canyon. I'll be there on New Year's Eve. And I set goals for 2014 for each year.
I'll be there in spirit.
Yes. For me, it's very sacred. It's so sacred. I feel like I get to look at what happened in the year past.
Right.
What are the lessons? What worked? What didn't work?
Right.
What could be improved? What could be even better? And then once I've got that awareness, then create goals for 2014 and set and achieve them. Now, timeline therapy is a very fascinating process, a technique, because it not only gets rid of the baggage, the past, the stuff that we talked about earlier in the show, it actually creates your future. So in other words, we're able to say, this is what I want to do next year. We're able to create a goal, and we're able to actually, in a way, float out into our future and take that goal and place it, having successfully occurred and happened, place it into our future timeline. Most of us may not have heard of that. Timeline, what are you talking about? It's timeline therapy. We all have a timeline. If I were to point to my past, maybe as you're hearing this and you're watching this, we could all just point to whichever direction the past may be. For me, point to my past, I'm pointing behind me. I point to my future, I'm pointing in front of me. Wherever you point would be that answer for you. Right. And I also notice that if I have my past behind me and my future in front of me, I notice that implies the line. It implies that there is a line that from the past to the future, which means that if there's a line, then I can almost float up above that line. And I could go into my past, if I chose to gather learnings, to release stuff, right, to change the way I thought about things that doesn't help me anymore, to change I'm not good enough to I am more than great, I'm great. I can also float out into the future, and I can have in my mind certain goals, and I can actually go out in the future and experience those goals and place those goals in my future timeline. So these are the exciting things we're able to do. Albert Einstein said that mind cannot tell the difference. Albert Einstein
right.
said the mind cannot tell the difference between something that's vividly imagined
right. and
something that's actually real. They've tied, they've done many different things. Actually, they had these sprinters on a treadmill, and they saw what fired off when they were running on the
right.
treadmill, and then they also saw it fired off in the brain when they're sitting down visualizing running. And the same things are happening. So when we imagine things, they're real for our body.
Right.
So what we do is with installing goals for our future timeline is we need to know what do we want.
Right.
We need to get clear on what do we want.
So write that down. What do we want?
We want to be specific. I want more money. I could step on a quarter right. and I just found more money. More right. money is not. That's right. not. I want more happiness. What's more happiness? What's less happiness? How much happiness is enough happiness?
So what you're saying is the universe doesn't work like that. The universe works in specifics.
You got to be specific.
Really
specific. I want $10,000 a month net income.
Right.
Or if I'm a millionaire, I want $1 million a month,
right.
or whatever it is. If I'm wanting to make my first $5,000, I want $5,000 for the next month. Be specific.
And so I want to be in a relationship. Well, what kind of relationship do you want to be in? What does he look like? You got to draw
what kind
it
of
out.
Relationship? Do I want to be married? Do I want to meet? Do I want him to just to have a man that plays around, doesn't, you know what I mean? So like I have to be specific. I want to be in a loving, committed, monogamous, exclusive / loving relationship with a man that I have love, joy, and like you be more specific. Right. Give some details. So once we're specific.
Were you reading my diary?
She's got this thing that's going to happen in 2014. Are you excited? It's exciting when everybody gets a breakthrough.
My diary? Did you?
It's excited. Yeah, and he's got to be cool people because you are very cool people. All right.
Cool people.
Cool people. I'm giving the.
What's your definition?
LA
so what is your definition of a cool person? I'd like to know.
Cool. Just I like easygoing personalities. I personally don't like to spend time with very difficult. You know what I mean. We don't even need to go into that.
I'm too old for that stuff.
I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that.
I'm just way.
So be specific, make it measurable. In other words, a number has a measure to it. Even a relationship, you could say a 10 relationship out of 10 is certainly better than a feeling of being in a relationship that's a 2 out of 10. So you can measure even the happiness in a relationship in a weird way. Right. You could try to do that. Is it achievable? You got to make sure that the thing that you want in 2014 is achievable and attainable. Don't go for I want to become a billionaire when I haven't even made the first $1,000. Right. It's just not smart. It's not smart. If you
And
feel
you
you can earn $1 billion, then do it. That's fine. But just don't go, the wishful thinking.
Because you don't want to set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
That's real important. You need to
and
make it
somewhat
realistic.
Risky. You want to stretch. Don't go for 2014 what you did in 2013. We're supposed to grow. We're supposed to have even more, be even more, do more, and have more. We're not supposed to just repeat what we did from the past. I think stretch. Life begins at the end of our comfort zone. So stretch beyond what you did last year and go higher in whatever area of your life. And then you got to have a time. You have to have a time. You can't say, I want to lose weight in 2014 because guess what? Let's say if you're trying to get into that prom dress or into that wedding dress or whatever, if you don't set a date, you'll procrastinate for 9 months. Then you realize you have 2 weeks to lose the weight. So when we set a time and we set the time soon, close enough, it gives us a sense of urgency. That's the sense of urgency we need to go do it. So what I've broken down is a SMART goal. Specific, being specific, measurable, way to measure where you are on it, A to B, achievable, realistic, and at the same time risky, a stretch, so you're stretching to get there. It's not easy to do it. It's a stretch, and a time. And then what we do after that is we figure out a way to actually install that goal.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's the SMART goal.
So write that down, SMART goal. I love
SMART
that.
goal.
Have a SMART goal. But the other thing that really that we both of us were, it's interesting how similar we are, is before I do any of my goals and resolutions, I do reflect on, okay, what's this year been like for me?
Yeah.
What have I done? What is all the good stuff that's happened? A lot of good stuff has happened. Where could I have made some shifts? What can I do? So because I need to take a look at it in order to move forward and to move through it.
You
and
gotta
I'm always looking at my comfort zone. Because I realized a long time ago that here's your comfort zone, and it's like it's a circle. So if you make the circle a little bit bigger, what happens? Your comfort zone gets bigger. So I'm always about stepping out of the next comfort zone and then becoming comfortable, and then going to the next, and then going to the next, and it's I love it. I love this stuff.
Yes, it's amazing stuff. And
stuff.
if you come
it's all
to
stuff.
you're
giving a seminar, aren't you? And
I'm excited. Yes, you are. January 25th.
Yes, and I'm bringing a guest.
Yes, January 25th at the Hilton Hotel in Pasadena. So January 25th is a Saturday, 4 weeks away from now. Hilton Hotel in Pasadena. And it's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
How much is it?
11 a.m. to 1 p.m. is a 2-hour workshop, and then 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. is a 2-hour workshop, and then 1 to 2 p.m. is a Q&A at the end. We have tickets that are $15 per person. If you bring 2 people, it's $20.
Oh. That's great.
That's if you buy it in advance. If you want to actually, show up at the door, it's $25. So it's a little bit better if you call this number and get your tickets in advance. You would call 310-871-6191. 310-871-6191. One more time. 310-871-6191. The value, let me explain this to you. The value that you're going to get out of this for the price of a movie ticket, it will blow your mind. That is really worth hundreds
I'm so
and hundreds
excited.
of dollars.
I'm looking
it's
forward
really
to it.
about creating an opportunity for you to come in and set the stage for 2014 to achieve all the goals you want to achieve in 2014. So 310-871-6191, Saturday, January 25th, 11 a.m. at the Hilton Hotel in Pasadena. It's on Los Robles Avenue, very easy to find. And yourself, bring a guest with you. For both of you, $20 total. That's cheaper than going to see a movie.
Well,
and this will change your life. Transform. I like the word transform.
You have a website, right?
I do. It's www.kayaredfordsuccesscoaching.com. Kaya Redford, Kaya, Redford, Redford, success, as you know, SUCCESS. I think I'm spelling that right. Coaching.com. And then you can also find me on Facebook because I interact on Facebook. So Kaya Redford Success Coaching is my Facebook. Kaya Redford Success Coaching. You can add me on there or follow. I'm always posting amazing stuff, invites, and so on and so forth. And I'm just excited to be here with such an amazing woman that's transformed her life from the inside out, and it lives.
I'm just a reflection of you, baby.
Yes,
I'm just a reflection of you.
Everybody,
you know, that's what it's about.
Yes.
You know, we're just here
Yes.
to just, you know, okay, I've been blessed and to be able to write my book, to be able to see what's going on and to give people solutions, because this earth is crying. Mother Earth is
Yes.
crying, and we need to help her. And the first step starts with you and
Yes.
and what's going on inside you.
Yes.
And you're all such incredible people. You know, I just put something on my Facebook. By the way, go to my Facebook, wintersway.com, wintersway.com, and like it, because I give some great information out. But I put something on my Facebook the other day about everybody you meet is going through some kind of pain. So have some compassion. We don't know what we're all people. We all have sorrow. We all have pain. We all have grief, tragedies. It's all in us, and how we respond to those is very different. And so I think for this new year, forgiveness is probably the most important thing we can do.
Forgive yourself.
Compassion. And I was just coming to that.
Yeah.
And to forgive ourselves. Have some compassion.
Take that hammer.
Take that judgment off
and
of...
throw it in the trash, because we take the hammer, we beat ourselves
God,
up all day.
Isn't that the truth?
Take that hammer and throw
that
it in
the
the
truth?
trash and be free.
I find, though, the older I've gotten, the less judgmental I am, the much more compassionate I am to people, and much more forgiving I am. But I realize it's about me. It's much more forgiving I am of myself, because if I can forgive myself, God knows,
Yes.
then everybody else is gravy out there.
People want to change other people. I mean, you know someone like that. They want to change the husband, the wife,
Right,
the boyfriend,
right.
the girlfriend, the boss, the this. And what we've realized is nothing outside of you changes
Right.
until you change.
Right.
You change. We change inside, and then the world changes around us. I'm so excited. And if I could also share, remember we talked about this veterans coming back that are a very high suicide rate, and we're helping.
Yeah.
If anybody feels like compelled to want to support that cause, to save our U.S. veterans and help with the PTSD therapy that we're giving them, please call that phone number, the same phone number, 310-871-6191. We're receiving grants, donations of any kind.
That's great.
And we have a program, and even if, even if it's not resources near funds, maybe it's something else that you'd like to be part of this journey with us. So that's 310-871-6191.
We're a community, and we all need to be together and help one another. Because I find that it's when I really put myself out there to help somebody else, it's really helping me.
Yeah.
That's the thing I do in the morning. Who can I be of service to?
Yeah.
Who can I really help today? Kaya,
Yes.
it has been incredible. I'm so glad that you changed your flight.
I want to come back.
Well,
I'm going to be the first person to invite myself back.
well, no,
She's like, wait a minute.
no, I want you to come
I have the
back.
Reverend coming, and I have the...
Do you believe that? I can't
wanna
believe
come
it.
back.
It's like,
because
I can't
I
believe
didn't
I've
finish
got,
this whole
I've
steps
got,
here
on
yet.
January 9th, Michael Beckwith is coming.
I'm
So
excited.
it's incredible. I
He's
mean, it's
amazing.
like, and then Marianne Williamson, it's like, what am I manifesting?
I hosted an
This is all
event.
my goals. Okay,
Yeah.
I want Marianne Williamson. These are my two favorite people.
Yeah.
I mean, I go
Yeah.
to Agape on Sundays,
Yeah.
and on Mondays I go hear Marianne Williamson, and I just go walk up. Okay, let me get out of that comfort zone. Let me get out of that fear and see it.
Yeah.
I always have been able to say, I see it happening. I see him saying yes. So
Yes.
there is no. And here, the whole thing is it's a no automatically if I don't ask. So if I ask and they say
Exactly.
no,
What do you have?
I haven't lost anything.
You have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
This has been a great show. Thank you so much. This is Sharyn Wynters. I'm so glad. Please tell your friends and spread the word.
Sharyn's coming. You got to come too.
And welcome everybody that's new. Bless you. Happy holidays. Write down the SMART goals for you and spread the word. I love you all. Namaste. In gratitude, Sharyn Wynters says bye-bye from The Pure Cure, a complete guide to freeing your life from dangerous toxins. Namaste. Thank you.
Kiss goodbye.